One of the many things I love about doing Monday mornings here on Logan City, I get to chat to glamorous people, and sometimes the ladies as well, which really does help. Joining me right now is Tracy McLeod. Her official title is President of the Queensland Interior Decorators Association, and get this, Property Stylist of the Year on the Gold Coast. That, Tracy, is impressive. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Lovely to be here.
How do you become a property stylist?
How I started was I started in my own home, and I think a lot of people start that way. I had a home for sale on the Gold Coast. I had a lot of arrogance at the time. I thought I could get more money for my home.
Oh, we all think that.
Exactly. And so my real estate agent was very, very straight talking, and he said to me, here's what you need to do to prepare your home for sale. Okay. So we painted walls, we changed the furniture, and we just made it over in a cosmetic way. We had a kitchen that was on its last legs. The front fence needed replacing. So these things became less important to people. They factored it into their price once the home was styled. And I made on that home $18,000 extra in 24 days.
And that was just because you followed the guy's tips and did. And the trouble is, what we're up against now, you must know this more than anybody, all these programs on TV. So you've got The Block and Reno Rumble and How Big Is Your House and all this stuff. Although I have to say, I do like Selling Houses Australia. I think Andrew Winter's great, and what they do on a small budget is quite good. But people must come to you and say, well, I tell you what, Tracy, I want the entire place, I want it completely revamped, and I want new kitchen stuff, and my budget's $5,000. Can you help? And of course you can't.
That's right. Look, the reality is that it's an investment in the future. So it depends on, here's a number of things that I do to decide on whether the home is, what needs to be done. I'll always invite some top agents from the area in to have a chat with myself and the homeowner so that we can find out exactly what needs to be done, what is going to make top dollar. Not everyone needs to do a big renovation to get those dollars. And
so how does that work? Because I know that real estate agents are very competitive. So how do you manage to get two or three of them in a row? And I guess they're all fighting for the same thing. They all want to be listing that house within their company.
You don't get them in together. You really do your research. And the ways that people can do their research on the agents in their areas is to go to open homes in their expected price point and see what is on the market. The other thing too is to see how the agents behave with you as a potential buyer. What sort of aftercare are they giving you so that you can see whether they're going to represent your home fully? What sort of things are they saying to potential buyers and things like that, and that really helps you to decide on who is your agent. I
mean, I agree 100% what you're saying, because when we were buying our house 2 years ago, we went to a lot of property, and one of the reasons we went and bought the house we did is we really liked the agent because he genuinely cared. He was communicating with us. He wasn't filling us full of nonsense. He was being absolutely honest, and we really liked that. And the aftercare was great because when we moved in, 6 weeks later, he came along, knocked on the door, came in for a cup of tea with us, and it was great. So, yeah, that's really important as well.
That's fantastic. And that's the level of service that we're looking for. When I am working with top agents, that's the opportunity that gives us and the homeowner is that they have, you have the whole package. You have everyone working as a team for you. And one of the things that I do is, because it can be very stressful, if your agent calls up and says, have the home ready in an hour.
Oh, that's hugely stressful. And your life isn't your own when that happens.
Exactly. But we have ways, we show you how to prepare rooms and homes, even with children, of how you can prepare your home in an hour and make it less stressful for you.
I mean, one of the things we noticed, and it was quite funny, there's a joke in the UK that when the Queen goes around Britain, she thinks that the entire country smells of wet paint, because that's what people do.
Yes.
We went into so many places and they were burning the candles, and it was all the sort of oil burners and whatever. Very nice, but we thought, I wonder what they're actually covering up. So you begin to go the other way and think, actually, I'd rather not have the air conditioning on. I'd rather know what the house feels like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And that's a big misconception that people have, that baking smells, coffee smells, smells and perfumes or, scents are okay. But in fact, there's people who have allergies
Absolutely.
and things like that. So I tend to say stay away from the scents. Cleanliness is probably number one. If you can clean and declutter your home. It's not my favourite term, decluttering, because I think
true,
that you
isn't
can
it?
pack before you sell.
Because if you go into a house, the first thing you do is you visualise your stuff in that space. And we did the same again. And when we were selling our house back in the UK, we had to take all the canvases down of ours. We took all the family pictures down. We sort of put a couple of generic pictures up because the agent we were working with was very good at dressing property. But people, and again, you watch some of these programs, you think, are you serious? Do you actually think everybody's going to buy this?
Yeah.
Because they have no concept.
And the programs are really about product placement
Of
and
course they are.
entertainment.
Of course they are.
And so they're not a how-to guide. For everyone out there who is thinking of selling or building or renovating, these are not a how-to guide of how to prepare your home. They have teams of people in the background protecting the investment of the of the media company.
And of course, it's product placement throughout the entire show, and that's pretty obvious that what you're seeing in an hour took maybe a week, possibly 10 days to actually achieve,
Yes.
which must make it difficult because people have got sometimes no sense of reality and their expectations are maybe unrealistic.
Look, I think it does two things, and there's a yin and a yang, a pro and a con with it. The pro is that people are understanding the importance of preparing and presenting their homes for sale. The con is, of course, that they think it's done on a very small budget in a very short amount of time. And we do only come in for one day into your home if you're using a professional, but there's probably a 3-week lead time, and we come and look at the property and walk through and talk it through with you. And then if it needs furniture and furnishings, you're probably looking at about 2 weeks before that can happen. There's got to be quotes, it's got to be selections have to be made.
So if you were giving some tips, what's maybe the top 3 things that you would say to people you really need to consider before you think about putting your house on the market? Absolute number one is who is your target market and how you find them, which is number 2, go to open homes in your area at your price point. You'll go to open homes when you're buying, but it's really important to go to open homes and see who else is looking through the home. They are your target market. And the third one is do only what is necessary, but make sure you understand what is necessary in your area at your price point, because price is going to be the biggest factor that is going to affect how saleable your home is, and the market will tell you very quickly whether you're priced appropriately or not. And as we said earlier, people have got unrealistic expectations, and the price is, as you said, it's market driven. What about, we know people that have gone and they've put brand new kitchens in, only to discover that the new people have taken that kitchen out and put another one in of their own. Should you be looking at major changes like that, or is it more cosmetic like the painting and just, like you said, decluttering?
My opinion is that less is more, but again, I say talk to your agent, talk to the people who are in the know, because at different price points, different aspects of renovation can be appropriate. In general, though, I would say, you can change aspects of the kitchen and the bathroom without doing a total remodel, or you're going to drop the price accordingly. And you just have to decide what your budget is going to bear, but also what's the return on investment that you can expect at the end.
And I guess the market fluctuates all the time. A lot of people are saying that where we live on the Gold Coast, because of the Commonwealth Games and a new shopping centre at Coomera, property prices will start to increase. So if people really want to get that top end, they have to do the work that you're talking about.
Exactly, and as you say, that's what reality TV has taught us. You can see the before and afters, you can see the difference, and it's just amazing.
So what are the mistakes that people make?
Look, I'll tell you the 3 biggest, I think, and they come under the banner of price, presentation and marketing. They price too high, or they price based on what they need rather than what the market is willing to give. They, with regard to their presentation, they will try and do it themselves rather than, it's very inexpensive to get a professional to come in, You know, it's under $500 to have a professional come in for 3 hours and walk through and talk through your entire home with you. That consultation alone can make you an extra $5,000.
So it's a worthwhile investment.
That's right. And then marketing is, you know, if you don't want signage, if you want to, you've got a home business or you've got children and you think there's no point in preparing your home for the marketplace, those before photos are going to be what will bring, those photos will be what will bring your target market to your home. And your job is to bring the maximum people into your home, and your agent's job is to sell it from there.
And of course, as we come towards the end of our chat, first impressions are vital. And if you look at some of the property, you think, wow, I wouldn't even step foot inside of that. So I'm guessing just some cosmetic work, tidy up your gardens, make sure there's no rubbish there, put your bins away, that kind of thing.
There's an actual real psychology to how we enter a home, and you'll see it a lot in what we do in homes is like visual merchandising in retail. So it's there's actually, you walk through, you step out of your car, you've got your street persona on, and you need to actually go through a transition. Buyers need to go through a transition where they come into the home persona, and that's what you're taking them through with tidying, cleaning, decluttering, clearing, some potted colour out the front, some nice flowers, some florals, some things that are going to make them smile upon entry and exit. These are the first and last impressions.
And dare I say, maybe have your windows cleaned, because boy, did we see some. You couldn't even, there was no daylight coming through. There was no UV concerns because you couldn't, they were that dirty.
Again, cleaning is paramount. Have them cleaned either the day before your photos or the morning of. So make sure, even if it rains overnight, that's life, but at least you've had them professionally cleaned. I would recommend professional cleaning, but hey, if you're on a single level and you can do it yourselves, great.
Yeah, sounds great. You know what? We never even got to chat about colour psychology, so we'll have to get you back in another time and talk all about that, because this is really interesting. If people are interested in contacting you, if they want to know a little bit more about what it is that you do, how do they get hold of you?
We do a weekly live webinar, a weekly live Q&A on Facebook.
Okay.
So you can find me at Presentation Cells on Facebook or www.presentationcells.com.
Sounds great. Well, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. We've been trying to do this for a little while, haven't we? And it's been various reasons why we couldn't do it. But we'll get you back in and we'll talk about this colour psychology, because it's something that I have no idea what it is. I'd like to know a little bit more. And yes, now you've given me some ideas. If we think about moving, not that the current Mrs. B wants to move, but if we do think about moving, we'll get you in to have a look. So there you are. Thanks indeed then to Tracy McLeod. And if you want to contact her, and if you didn't have a chance to get the details, just contact me via either our Facebook page here at Logan Cities 101 or my show page, and I will put you guys in touch.